Hello world. So this will probably be the final game that I'll cast for today. And it's 2v2 with Smaug, who I think is from Egypt, and Budwise playing against Trafalgar and the Fonz. I have no idea if the Fonz is... Well, I have no idea if the Fonz is Henry Winkler or anybody else. I'm just going to get this one started. And yeah. Wait, I should make sure I turned on my microphone. Good, microphone's on. Okay, so what do we got? What do we got? Budwise, I think a lot of people will recognize as a admin at COH2.org, and yeah, good player in his own right. And Trafalgar had a couple of his games recently. He plays a lot of 2v2s with Love Nest, and Smaug in the Reign of Madness clan. I don't really know a whole lot about him, and I don't know anything at all about Fonz. And I also don't know if this was arranged teams or if this was completely random. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Budwise doing a bit of gardening. Something I always, put that truck to use early on, even if you're not going to make your tier building with it yet. Knock down a couple of fences, anything you don't think should be there. I know some people think it's like bullshit that you can knock down houses with the truck early on. I totally think it's a legit tactic. And I've seen quite a few games where people have lost their truck. I mean, it's not the worst thing that can happen to you, but it is quite annoying. So just a bit of minor gardening, and this house gets spared the rod. Now what will we see happen here? So Budwise has already picked his commander. He's gone fortifications, everyone's favorite commander recently. And Smaug, what does Smaug have available to him? Looks like elite troops, mechanized assault, and oh god, what's this guy? Spearhead. Oh, got it. And we'll just see what the other guys have as it progresses. Okay. Tank Hunter Tactics. That's one that I really don't see Tank Hunter Tactics very often. Although Lenny has got a new guide out about how to use Tank Hunter Tactics, and I saw a pretty awesome game with him using that one. It's on Romeo's YouTube channel, so go check that one out. Highly recommend it. I don't have Tank Hunter. I've only ever even seen it like twice, and yeah. So I hope he doesn't pick that one, because I'm not going to know what the fuck is happening. I'll not be able to say anything meaningful about it. Anyway, this is Samoski, so I figure that it's probably going to be counterattack. Terror tactics is always a lot of fun to use too. Like it in 1v1 is just like the troll tactics commander, so you can do all kinds of ridiculous base rush bullshit with it. Smaug got his 2 grenadiers, machine gun, and a mortar. Mortar always nice on this map. The German mortar is just so strong lately. Pioneers should really just retreat. It's not like they're going to be able to do anything useful. And feed some vet to the other team. And strong push from the German players up in the center of the map. You can see that Budwise decided to build his battle group headquarters in his base, which honestly I think is a good idea. Put up a forward, any kind of forward battle group headquarters against double Soviets, you're pretty much guaranteed to invite 120mm mortars or Katyushas early on, just pounding you wherever you set that up. Also, by putting the battle group headquarters in the base, you can save a bit of manpower and munitions for your Wehrmacht teammate, and just share the healing. Although, if you're going to do that, you should really put it more like right here. Let's have another look at this fight up here as the Volksgrenadiers from Budwise push up. I wonder if he's going to go all the way up and try to lay down some sandbags and try to be annoying and keep this cutoff out of the, or keep this fuel sector out of enemy hands. He's taking the cutoff. Smaug is taking the cutoff and is holding the bridge. But Trafalgar's already gotten himself a mortar. It doesn't look like the Fonz has made any kind of tech at all. And They were going pretty deep into enemy territory, taking the fuel down and taking some of the other territory sectors away. And the mortar, I suspect, is just going to start barraging on this house as soon as they figure out there's a machine gun in there. It is possible to figure out if there are units in a house that you can't see in the fog of war, but that's a little bit of a bug exploit, so I'm not going to tell people how to do it. Yeah. Wow, Smaug is being nasty and puts down an MG bunker on the cutoff already. That's really early. Let's see what else the Smaug got. He's got tier 2 up already. That's really fast. He's got a very small infantry army. Oh god, don't run these grenadiers into the flames of the Molotov. And he's making himself a half-track. So it's a really nice pick. I know if you talk to or listen to CS, that he will say that playing as in 2v2s that the half-track is pretty critical. Although he says that mostly if you're playing against the US, because they get really easy forward reinforcement from, for example, major and from having a major and ambulance combination. You can see a bit of mortar wars happening, and up top, Budwise is attempting to take the fuel, but gets pushed off pretty easily. The machine gun gets killed by presumably the mortar. Smaug is really playing risky, trying to go pick it up, and oh no, surely accidentally loses an entire grenadier squad to pick it up, and oh, I am pleased to see pleased to see him taking that in stride. Half the time when something bad like that happens, you get players who just start raging, which is just kind of, it's just a game, dudes. Why you have to be mad? Oh, the other machine gun looks like it is going to escape, and the allies are nearly retaking the cutoff, but it doesn't really matter as their minor cutoff down here has also been taken. Oh, so much smoke. That's really annoying. Smaug his army is tiny right now, and the bunker that he built got destroyed as well. Smaug is gone for elite troops, and I wonder if he is going to use that to buff up some of his Budwise's units. That is something you can do with the troop training ability. It's very expensive to do it. Budwise is built as tier 4 already. Half-track is racing on back to base. Budwise is getting himself some over-soldat. Oh boy. That grenade wasn't nearly as nasty as it could have been. What else have we got? Fonz is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 conscripts plus tier 2. I was going to say it could be actually Lenny playing under a Smurf name, but I think if this were Lenny, he wouldn't have even bothered going tier 2. Bit of barbed wire going down. This will mess with the pathing if nothing else. I mean, you have to put down a lot of barbed wire, which Fonz might actually be doing. I can see that Budwise is easily going to be able to just hop over this fence if he wants to pursue, and probably should at this point. Yep, over the fence he goes, and all of this territory is still in Axis control. Cutoff gets retaken, and the half-track is just sitting damaged over by the bridge. Folks, Grenadiers won that engagement nicely. It looks like the center of the map is now starting to go into Allied control. What we have going down here? Fuel cache on the cutoff. Alright. Against a lot of low health infantry squads, these Panzer Grenadiers are going to be doing a great job. And I don't know what kind of headquarters upgrades we have for the Soviet players. Okay, so there. People paying attention will have seen all of them. Not a whole lot holding on to the center of the map. Good to see Trafalgar putting down a couple of mines. I don't think there are any sweepers yet from the German players. Let's see if Budwise has gotten any. I can't tell as they're retreating. Ooh. Nice push out of the top, and still no commander pick from either of the Soviet players. They've only got 2 and 3 CPs, so most commanders only begin to become valuable right about now. But, this is can be a nasty time for Soviet players when the Obersoldaten are out, and the Lukes as well, and they don't really have a whole lot. These players in particular don't have a whole lot they can use against it. So Trafalgar has, as predicted, gone counterattack tactics. So that'll give them shock troops and the primarily shock troops and the B4 howitzer. Although I think the KV-1's gonna be pretty useful as well, just for soaking up damage. And Budwise uses well, runs over a mine but breaks the wire and gives himself a little bit easier access to the top of the map. Fonz has been doing pretty well with these Molotovs, forcing a lot of retreats, which has got to be annoying for the Axis players. Yeah, looks like the center of the map is just getting pretty clogged up with Soviet infantry, and I haven't noticed if Trafalgar's been putting down any more mines. His flamers are retreating on back to base. It's so difficult to see mines. There's one there. I don't know if there are any others around. Drag around, try to locate some. Obersoldaten gets suppressed by the MG42. Looks like Budwise is going to come in on a flank and throw a grenade, but I don't think it's really going to be that useful. Oh! Yeah, that squad was nicely spread out. It's dangerous putting machine guns in cover these days with the way that squads like to clump up and make themselves super vulnerable to grenades. Half-track could go down here quite easily. Surely it will. Kaboom. This Luke's been on the field for a couple of minutes, but it hasn't really done a whole lot. It did finish off that conscript squad at the top, but running into that mine really slowed down the usefulness of it. And the Germans are kind of hurting from map control. That said, it's fairly equal between the two teams, as neither side is in control of the high munitions points on the wings. Just hear mortars falling everywhere, and I don't know from whom. Smaug still has his mortars. Man, his army is still just so tiny. With the elite troops, he'll be able to get himself a Tiger Ace later on in the match. But one thing about Tiger Ace is it really lowers your manpower and especially your fuel income quite a lot, and which means that you really want to get out as many vehicles as you can before that happens. Nasty hit. Just a couple of P4s, for example. Shock troops get up nice and close, but they've taken a lot of damage already. Still, they may be able to sweep the field, although this they're at risk of just getting instantly mowed down by this Lukes. They see it, poke its head around, and retreat on back to base. Obersoldaten have gotten up on the flank, and they can do terrible damage to all of these units. Oh, even a bundled grenade blasts one dude to tiny meaty chunks. He retreats on back to base. That's smart. The last thing you want to have happen is for your opponent to get a hold of one of those MGs. I think the majority of the DPS of an Obersoldaten squad is in that machine gun, which means that if you lose it, whatever picks it up instantly becomes far more deadly than it otherwise would be. So even just a squad of like combat engineers with a minesweeper can become an anti-infantry threat. Trafalgar's getting himself a Katyusha, which will be quite good against clumped up units. I mean, even if you're not really blobbing, you can kind of end up blobbing in the center of Samoski just because it's such close quarters. Advanced warfare is what the fonz went with, so he's got PPSHs, and yeah, so I'm going to be hearing a lot of PPSH chattering between all of the conscript PPSHs and the shock troops that we're sure to see. P4 looks like it got vetted up. It's already vet 1, and I have not seen it until just now, so I don't see troop training on cooldown, but yeah, I don't know. astute observers, once again, will know whether or not that happened. Katyusha fires its first barrage, and he's going to be lucky if it hits anything. Budwise splits up his forces nicely to get out of the way of that, although the machine gun nearly took a stray shot. And a stray Panzer strike nearly destroys the fuel cache. Trafalgar's trying to repair it, but it will probably go down right now. Oh, and Budwise is forced off before he can finish the deed. I'm not sure what the fonz is doing with his forces over here. You got mines and barbed wire. Catch any squads that will try to retreat, or to catch any vehicles that try to come across this passageway. But there is a squad of stern pioneers with the sweepers, so they could kill them, sweep the mine, and break the barbed wire. How efficient. Oh, that was a nasty hit. It sounded like a 120mm mortar, which is going to mean it was a precision strike. I don't know that using the precision strike does anything other than give a different sound file and, well, obviously way more accuracy. B4 takes a hit from the Zis gun, but looks like it just deflected a AT grenade off the frontal armor, and everything's going really slowly for me. What else do we have going on? Trafalgar has got enough command points to build a B4, and I'm gonna guess that he's just gonna save up his manpower in order to do that. More troop training being used by Smaug, but on what? I'm not sure. It has to be on something in the headquarters. Yeah, I didn't see it. Oh, come on, Grens, get behind cover, please. Oh, God. Oh, just having a vision of a walking Stuka shot turning into, like, a pile of... an exploding pile of limbs. Yeah. Luke's doing a good job of controlling the flanks. Budwise may even try to do some fancy maneuvering and get up on the side of the Zis gun. Fonz with his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5, huh? Squads of combat engineers spreading out, taking back territories, and his PPSHs should do a good job forcing Budwise to retreat. Oh, there you go. Katyusha's firing, possibly on the cutoff. Yeah, looks like it's a bit too shallow to actually connect, and a bit too early though it does. Wow. Completely wipe out that squad of pioneers, and the Yanks did a fair bit of damage. The P4 also, if that gave a bet to the Katyusha. Amazingly, no. This gun from Trafalgar moving up to try to put the killing blow onto the Lukes, and the Luke goes down without really having contributed a whole lot to the fight. Budwise can't be too happy about that. He's not far off from being able to get himself a Panther, and since he went tier 1, tier 4, I think it's pretty safe to guess that that's what he's going to do. I mean, he could build himself a Pack 43, but that would be suicide, considering there's probably going to be a B4. So, all they've seen so far from Trafalgar's commander is shock troops. Yeah, that could be one of a number of things. Ugh. Fonz could have tried to use Oorah to run away a little bit more quickly and maybe not lost that squad, but I'm not even really sure why he's contesting these Oversoldaten as much as he is. Oh, conscripts, yeah, you want to get even closer, guys. The Oversoldaten should just decide that they've done their job and it's time to run away. God. Oh, this is brutal. They'll probably clear out this Zis gun before it has a chance to retreat. They're up to Vet 4. Yeah, they're on full-on Terminator mode now. Shock troops are kind of impotently coming up to try to help out, but Budwise is definitely going to be able to retreat if he senses any real danger. Where are you firing? Oh, it's facing this way, so... Total miss. That's too bad. I'm surprised to not yet see Trafalgar built a B4 yet. Such a great map for it. Rifle grenade can do a ton of damage here. Didn't even manage to clear out the AT gun, but the mortar finishes the job, and now with that down, the P4 can contribute as well. Looks like Budwise must have been doing the lion's share of the damage. He's up to almost 12 CPs, but Smaug's only got 8.5. Said for a long time, Smaug had almost no army, so not really all that surprised to see that. Okay, B4 is being constructed right now, and the Allies have pushed completely onto their side of the river. See what the Germans do to capitalize on this. More troop training used. Again? I don't know where. So, Budwise replaced his dead Storm Pioneers. And Smaug is making himself another bunker just to delay, I guess, although I think he should cancel it right now. There's a lot of stuff coming up out of the base. He knows there's still mortars. I'm soon going to find out they're howitzers. And the B4 is really, really dangerous, but the thing that makes it especially dangerous is vet on the B4. So putting down a some kind of position like that where to basically just get free vet by shooting at could really come back to bite them in the butt in the long run. The B4 is up. I'm going to highlight this hotkey U. Oh, I totally missed something important. Okay. B4 is aimed, but I don't see it getting ready to fire. Recon overflight going overhead. And this would be the time for the German players to put 2 and 2 together and start pooping their pants in fear of B4s. Oh my god, Budwise is making himself up. Is making a Pack 43. He needs to cancel that. Oh, huge hit from B4. Come on, cancel it. Please cancel this. B4, I didn't even... How did you know? How did you know there's a recon flight? Budwise, stop. Don't do this. Alright. And Smaug is lucky that his B4, that his P4 is still alive. Oh, the horrors! And sitting just within range of the pack, or of the B4, which is now Vet 1, so it can use Precision Strike, is Budwise's Budwise's Pack 43. Wow, 7 kills in that first B4 shot. Not bad. A ton of damage onto the P4, and that's really what gets at the vet. Fonz is getting himself some what are they called? T-34-85s now. Oh, and he's KV-1 also. Okay, cool. So lots of medium tanks, and I think that Budwise is going to need to get himself a Panther, maybe even a KT. Smaug using more. Smaug is using more troop training, but I can't see on what. Pack 43 needs to have hold fire, prioritized vehicles put onto it. It does have it pointing in a nice direction in case T-34-85 gets brave and tries to chase after his squads. So they've got a nice cover to back up into. Whoa! Lots of damage going in on the T-34-85. And I think that the howitzer should know where the Pack 43 is, as it fired into the squad of conscripts. Doesn't look like the B4 is firing, however. Fonz called himself in another T-34-85, and looks like Precision Strike's being used probably right here. We'll just kick back, relax, and enjoy the huge explosion. Yep, there it goes. Yeah. Budwise really should have canceled that as soon as he saw the first B4 shot land. Luckily for the Germans, B4 hasn't gotten up to Vet 2, so it doesn't have the super low cooldown that it will eventually get after probably just its next shot. Oversoldat finally met their match. The entire army of the Fonz. I'm trying to remember what like Fonz from Happy Days, what his catchphrase was. All I can think of is the like deformed guy from the Goonies going, "Hey, you guys!" Oh, nice move here by Smaug. Try to take out the you know, these. Oh, but Trafalgar uses the oh my god, what is that even called? The thing that makes him shoot at vehicles, and insta-gives one of the tanks. This is some extremely fancy Katyusha micro. I cannot believe that it hasn't gone down to this P4 yet. And this is probably the last thing that... Oh my god, Ram? Really? Inside your own base? Cool. Smaug doesn't get main gun destroyed. Still has the main gun on this P4. But, yeah, there's no way this thing is making it out of here. It'd be pretty funny if it gets a abandoned crit onto it. Oh, down it goes. And... I can hear Smaug pounding his mouse on the table in frustration, and he's decided after that to get himself a King Tiger. I don't know. If he kept his P4s alive and gotten himself a King Tiger, he'd be in a much stronger position. Although I don't think he probably had the pop cap to do it until now. That is going to be really difficult for him to build his army back up. Katyusha firing over on the infantry force from Budwise, but the shots seem to be missing for the most part. Oh, nice grenade. And let's see if Smaug and Budwise are able to brute force their way into the Soviet base. That could put a damper on things if he gets too adventurous. Also, the B4 is ready to fire again, and doesn't have very many munitions. So, yeah, it's not like he's going to be using the, God, what is it called? Direct fire mode? Direct fire attack. Soviets tentatively moving back into the middle of the map. And we have King Tiger from Budwise, so nice pick. Still, that thing is quite slow, and if it gets a damaged engine from like a really lucky AT grenade, or even a ramming, even from a ramming T-3045, it's going to be vulnerable to precision strikes from the B4. I don't think the B4 is going to be able to get an easy direct line of sight on it. Let's see if it's lining up to fire again. Yeah. KT supported by Oversoldat and Real Nightmare. Su-85 is in production from Trafalgar, and Fonz has got himself 3 T-3485s. And yeah, not really sure where the advantage lies. The two huge tanks from Budwise and from Smaug are definitely going to put a real headache on, or make any kind of attack a real headache, and make it much easier for them to hold on to the center of the map. Oh, crew shock. Looks like, yeah, that was target weak point used by Smaug, so nice move there. Use direct fire attack. Come on, shoot it. Shoot it, do it. Oh, KV-1 starting his damage sponge, slowing everything down. But does lose it in the process, looks like. Just a regular barrage firing. Not sure where that's coming in. Oh, lucky scatter does connect on the Tiger Ace and do a bit of hurt to that, but I think that Smaug's gonna be able to get that fixed up. Oh, damaged engine on the KT. That's pretty bad. So, I would kind of like to see Smaug just use troop training on the KT. I'm not sure how many times he would need to use it for it to, you know, pay off. But vetted KTs are a thing to be feared. Fonz nicely using attack move to destroy the pack, and they're going to start pushing up on the German cutoff as well. Airplane crashes in the base. Looks like it just took out a couple of the base defenses and nothing more serious than that. Something to be thankful for. Oh, tons of damage going on these T-30-45s, but I think they'll be able to escape without any issue. Ow. B4 fires again. I don't know what it hit. Landed over here, killed a couple of pioneers, looks like, possibly an entire squad. Yeah. KT pushing up into the center, probably gonna wipe this conscript squad as they retreat. Have you noticed that nobody ever said wipe until Company of Heroes 2 came out? At least in Company of Heroes. I don't know where that came from. My guess is Battlefield. Good bit of map harassment's going on from the Soviets. So they've taken the bottom VP, they've got the top VP, and they're starting to disconnect just resource points from their opponents. And it'd behoove them to get a healthy munitions income, just to keep up B4 precision strikes. As cheesy as that can be. Yeah, I imagine that's what Trafalgar is going to be spending all of his munitions on for the rest of the game. Turbo speed over Soldaten, got their jet boots on, but another fight happening up at the top, and these Voltron well, they do actually win the fight. That's amazing. B4 firing again. Where is it? Bit of a fail shot there. Would have waited for a better target. I mean, when you're in the middle of fighting a squad and they retreat, you just cancel the ability. Oh, you really don't want to keep these squads grouped up in any fashion with these two tanks that have such huge splash damage profiles. Tactical map, not quite as meaningless as it often is in a 2v2. Fonz is not happy. The T-30-45s, you know, 4 of them, they're getting fixed up, and wow, Fonz has no infantry anymore. He only has T-30-45s. I don't think he can even call. Okay, so he can still call in another one before too long. And you know, who needs infantry when you got T-30-45s? They can fight infantry, they can fight tanks, they can capture territory. Provided your teammate is willing to help you repair them every once in a while. Let's see if any advantage gets taken of this retreating shock troop squad, the viz they provide. Very nice move on Budwise to flip his machine gun to catch that squad as it retreats out of the base. Looks like the B4 is not going to fire. Oh. So King Tigers, or Tiger Ace, has got 19 kills. King Tiger, wow, there's a walking Stuka. Okay. I guess that's what troop training got used on. I don't know why. King Tiger's only got 5 kills. Not fantastic. These T-30-45s are a fearsome sight. Oh, that's where the Katyusha's falling. May catch some Oversoldaten, but other than that, there's not a whole lot for it to combat. Oh, B4 needs to find something to shoot at. It's been on cooldown for a long time. It's time to get that thing firing again. I hear a walking Stuka as well, probably just coming down along the middle of the map, trying to catch some retreating squads. Ooh, completely annihilates squad of, what are they called? Conscripts. recon. No, that's a anti-tank strafe. Wow, Tiger is taking quite a bit of damage. And B4 shot totally misses. Those Grenadiers, I don't think are going to be able to safely retreat. Oh, but they're going to try anyway. Walking Stuka's in a bit of danger. What will the T-45s do? They're just going to go for that? Oh, King Tiger's over in a nice spot for them to try to engage that. T-34-85s are pretty awesome, but usually when you see people are also using the guard motor coordination tactics commander, which gives marked target as well. Without that, they don't do nearly as much, nearly the damage that you often see when someone's using T-34-85s. Yeah, no, don't like it. Precision strike, do it. So, Trafalgar pretty tapped out in terms of units. Fonz managed to preserve his tanks. Oh, nice concentrated barrage from the Katyusha finishes off that squad of infantry. And Trafalgar's got his B4, and he's gotten a couple of big hits, but he really hasn't been using it as much as I think that he needs to. He maybe even could have finished off the King Tiger with a B4 hit. Oversold that and clear on mine with their feet, with their face, whatever you want to say. Oh, there's a nice B4 shot. Juicy. Okay, a couple of Panzer Shreds. No, flamethrower and maybe something else that got dropped. But, Soviets are very much on the back foot, and they're going to have a lot of trouble making any kind of comeback out of this. The Germans got a good solid control in the middle, and Trafalgar lost all of his tank destroyers, really to no avail. They hardly even managed to put a dent into the German tanks. They weren't even able to kill the Walking Stuka despite finding it pretty much unsupported in the center of the map with 4 T-345s. That may have been their last opportunity to really get it back. Looks like troop training used again on the Walking Stuka. I guess Smaug is just kind of passing some free vet to whatever unit of Budwise he happens to find in the base at the time. This gun would go down without doing particularly much to Smaug's Grenadiers. And yep, they're about to be cleared out. Looks like Katyusha's probably firing. Okay, that's where it's firing. Firing blindly into the center of the map where he thinks Budwise or Smaug might have some units, and yeah, nothing doing there. The Allies are left without any VPs in their control, and the clock is going to tick out very quickly. I don't know what the drain is when you have 2 VPs against and none in your favor. I guess it's 2 per second. Get out your stopwatches. Okay, it's like 2 every 3 seconds. I'm not sure what fonz means. Anyway, that concludes this game, and yeah, draw your own conclusions. That's 3 games in a row that I just streamed, and now my voice is getting kind of tired and scratchy, and I need to eat and, you know, take care of things in real life. So thanks for watching, everybody, and there will hopefully be some more air quotes proper casts in the future, which will be ones where I invite on a guest caster and we do this for reals. But yep, give you a couple minutes of music and everybody can get the fuck out and find someone else to watch. Bye bye, folks.